Sister India right here, A student right there, and Sister Raquel, one of our teachers here for many years. Okay, we're gonna head on.
You're actually 6'4"? Your son plays for the Giants. Wait, touch the top of the door. You're 6'4".
All right, brother Doctor. This is our second to our last meeting here at Marcus Garvey for the Rights of Pastors program. We are blessed to have this speaker that's here today. I did want to acknowledge the teachers that are actually helping, the advisors that are actually here. Brother Mills, get up for Brother Mills back here. We got Brother Marcus in the back. And we got Brother Pratt. All right, so this brother that we're actually going to be speaking today, he's actually a professor at UCLA in the education department. From 2023 to 2024, he was the president of the American Education Research Association. He's also the recipient of the Distinguished Teachers Award, which is the highest award for teachers' excellence. And the last 5 years, he was voted one of the 200 most influential scholars in the United States. So we got a brother here that's a heavyweight. And he's also the author of this book, which is, he's also the author of a book, Why Race and Culture Matters in Schools. A lot of people think that when we're teaching in schools, you can just teach any child the same way, but different cultures have to have different tools that you teach with. And as you know, our previous lectures, even the one that I did when we first got in this class, we dealt with self-esteem. And you can see that a lot of students, even myself, I came out of Compton and went straight to San Diego, where I was the only chip in the cookie, right? I was only raised in oatmeal. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. And I did not know about none of these things on the wall right here that would have give me the self-esteem that I would have in order to do well in school, to do better in school. I would have more confidence if I'd have known the things that you guys are being taught here. Such as, you see on the wall, we talk about the Lobambo bone, the Shango bone, and the oldest papyruses in math, and showing you that we were the originators of math. And then on the wall over here, you see the pioneers of STEM, where you see all the other things that are up here, such as the foundation of cell phones and internet and fiber optic cable, all of that stuff. You know, we have a hand in that. And Fred Dean, one of the founders of the patents on the computer. So there's a lot that we've done. But I think this brother will probably give you a little bit more deeper insight as far as why there's culture is so important in schools. So it's a pleasure to have this brother here, and this is just not everyday brother. Also, I can acknowledge the fact that this is my family, you know, and I'm doing a little nepotism. You know, I have Brother Pratt who's related on my mom's side of the family, and actually Dr. Howard and my dad were actually brothers. My dad passed away in 2011, but this brother right here, whenever I would come to LA, we would come to my cousin the Howard's house. And that was like a second home where we would come there and we just enjoyed ourselves. And so it's just real good to see. And this is a brother, I've never seen him mad. You know how you see, brother? I mean, really, you see people that you be able to really get them angry. This brother has always been mellow. The many years that I've known him, he's just been so mellow. Even when other people are really acting a little crazy, he still knows how to keep it mellow. I gotta learn that. You know, I gotta learn that. Well, let's give a warm black hand for Dr. Tyrone. Howard.
All right, I appreciate the love. First, before I get started, let me shout out your teacher, because he's also my teacher. This is my big cousin. When I was younger, his mom and dad were like my mom and dad, like second parents. They looked out for me, they cared for me. I always felt loved and felt like they were always there for me. So I have major gratitude for his parents, my aunt and uncle, who are amongst the ancestors right now. They were always, and I do mean always, loving on me and my brother. So I just want to thank you for sharing your parents with me, because they made a huge impact on my life. He always looked out for me when I was younger. We go to San Diego. he would take us to play arcade games. He would take us to get candy and chips. So he was like the big brother I never had. So mad love for Dr. Mojo. Thank you. All right, so repeat after me, please. Repeat after me. I am a genius. I am brilliant. I am beautiful. I am courageous. I am brave. I am smart. I am whatever I put my mind to. And nobody ever tell me what I can't do. All right, now somebody, let me tell you why I asked you to do that recite. I asked you to do that because I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my college students, because of your brilliance, because of your genius. I teach at UCLA, but those folks are grown, but I look at you and I've listened to you and I just watched you in the short time I've been here, and I already picked up on your genius. I already picked up on your brilliance. I already picked up on your beauty. I picked up on your courage. So I'm going to talk to you like I talk to people who are much older than you, because you're just as smart as they are. Listen to what I say. You are just as smart as they are.
You are just as smart as they are.
There you go. Right. I need you to understand that, because I'm not going to talk to you like little babies, little children, because I don't see you that way. I see you as bright, intelligent minds. So I'm here to talk about education. Somebody, anybody, raise your hand if you know. If I say education, what is education? Talk to me. Learning. Okay. Learning about what? In the back.
Getting smarter.
Getting smarter, okay. What else? Just learning about
multiple subjects.
Multiple subjects, excellent.
Learning how to do things in life.
Learning how to do things in life, excellent.
Take
your time.
He was about to say it.
Okay, go ahead. Retaining knowledge, I love it. What else? Grammar, yes.
Learning new things that can help you in life.
Learning new things that can help you in your life. What else?
Math.
You got something for me now?
No.
Okay, come back to what you do. What else?
Learning things that can help you with your career.
Learning things that can help you with your career.
Learning about your culture.
Learning about your culture. That's an excellent one right there. What else you got for me over here? Yes.
Your history.
Your history. Now, all those answers, I love them. You got one more for me? Say it again.
Your race and your people.
Your race and your people. So let me tell you why all those answers are so spot on point. Because education is supposed to be about all those things, about gaining knowledge, about helping you further your career, whatever you choose to do, making a difference in your community, helping people who look like you, your culture, all those things. But what you all learn here at Garvey is different, because most schools that you go to, they don't teach you those things you just talked about. They teach you other people's history. What do you think I mean when I say other people's history?
White man.
What do I mean by that?
Like basically any other race other than black. And they
Yes.
just they only teach you black history for a month, because there's almost no school where you'll just go to a regular school and they'll teach you black history when it's not black history.
That's right. You want to add? That's excellent. Please.
They'll teach you U.S. history.
Yes. U.S. history and like basically European history. What else?
They will also talk about their culture instead of your culture.
That's right. What else?
They're gonna talk mainly about white people, and they're gonna shade out all the great stuff that black people have.
Bingo. So y'all are spot on. Part of what you'll get at other schools is something that one of my favorite books is a book called Miseducation of the Negro. It's written by somebody named Carter G. Woodson. Say it with me. Carter G. Woodson. One more time. Carter G. Woodson. Here's what Carter G. Woodson said. He said the miseducation of the Negro is like, how can we create a world where black people learn about other people? That the education system tries to teach you not to learn about yourself, but to learn about other people. And not only learn about other people, but also when you did learn about yourself, to have you think that you are less than other people. Y'all heard of that before? You are less than other people.
Yes.
So we won't talk about your history. We won't talk about your culture. We won't talk about your contributions. We're going to talk about the ways in which we are descendants or we came from kings and queens. We're going to teach you a brainwashed type of history where you think that white people are better, white people are superior, white culture is the norm. To think all those things, that after a while you get so much of miseducation, after a while what begins to happen to you? To your mind? You're brainwashed. And what are you brainwashed about?
Whitewash.
White people. What do you think about white people if you get that kind of education?
They're the greatest.
They're the greatest. What else?
You believe that you're less than and they're superior to you.
Right. So if you believe you're less than and you believe they're superior, how do you then live in the world?
You live in the world as you're not great and other people will always be better than you.
Right. So you see people who look like you. I'm going to come to you in a second. You see people who look like you and you think they're not as smart as somebody else. You see people who look like you and think, you know what? They're probably not, they can't be doctors or lawyers or teachers or social workers or whatever, psychologists. We're going to think all these negative things about them because we get taught to think of ourselves as being less than. What's wrong with looking in the mirror, seeing yourself and thinking, I'm not as good. I don't like my hair, I don't like my skin, I don't like my nose, I don't like my lips. What's wrong with that kind of thinking?
Everything.
Such as?
Not believing yourself.
Not believing in yourself. So if you go through the world with what's called self-hate, say it with me, self-hate.
Self-hate.
And you believe the things about me are not worthy of love. You believe that this black skin is not beautiful, right? You believe this broad nose is not beautiful. You believe these big full lips are not beautiful, right? You believe that these wonderful dreads are not, these locks are not beautiful, right? You begin to think all these negative things as opposed to embracing or being proud of who you are. So Carter G. Woodson said the miseducation of the Negro is one we have to learn about ourselves. So, learning about yourself, but also when you get education, when you learn grammar, when you learn math, when you learn science, when you learn English, all those things that you learn, you should be able to learn those things without having to what? Say it again.
Self-hate.
Self-hate, right? Because in school what they will teach you is that, you know what? If you're going to learn about, let's say English, you got to read who?
White people.
White people. Shakespeare is what I had to learn about in high school. You ever heard of Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Good. You don't need to know about Shakespeare. Shakespeare, we had to read all these books about William Shakespeare said this and that. Like, how come we couldn't read about Zora Neale Hurston, Phyllis Wheatley, right? There's lots of black, beautiful poets and writers who we should be learning about, who talk about our story, right? Part of what we want to learn about is how we can get our education without giving up a sense of who we are. So where I teach in a way that I want all my students to understand. I want all of my students to know. I need all my students to recognize that there's brilliance that resides in black people's minds, and you have to see it every single day. And they need to understand that we are the first people on this planet. We are the first people in this entire universe, and that we are the original people, and therefore all the things in which they learn from, science, math, technology, started with us. Talk to me.
Do any of your students, do you have trouble with any of your students when you're teaching Black history or something?
All the time, because I have some students who say, well, that's not true. Black people were not the first people on the planet. That's not true. Black people didn't come up with discoveries around science and math and medicine. Why would they think that? Because they also got the same miseducation that black people got. They were taught to think that we were what? Less than. Right, or another word for less than is inferior. Have you heard that word before? Inferior?
Yes.
That means less than. So they've been taught it. We've been taught it. So then when they see me walk, what do you think they say when they see me walk into the class on the first day?
This loser.
Yeah, like what is he doing up there? They expect to see a professor. What color do you think they think the professor is? White. They expect to see an old white man who's all crouched over walking up. And when I walk in, they think, okay, well, what's this dude doing here?
Oh, he's just.
Right. So let me tell you a story what happened real quick. So just like last year, I'm in my building at UCLA, right? Getting ready to walk to my office. And when I get ready to walk to my office, there's a cart that's there in the middle of the aisle for the person who does our custodial work, who does a great job of helping make sure our building is clean, right? So there's a cart right there, right? And so I'm getting ready to walk to my office, and I'm walking by the cart. There's a lady who works there. She's a white lady. She says, oh, excuse me, sir. Can you get your cart, and can you move your cart down to the end of the hallway? Now, Why do you think she asked me to move the car down?
Because you're black.
Because you're black.
She's a janitor.
She thought I was a janitor. Now, is there anything wrong with being a janitor?
No.
No, it's not, right? Because we need janitors because folks help keep our places clean. But why does she think I was a janitor?
Because you're black.
Because I'm black. Now, I'm thinking, if I was a white man, would she have asked me that same thing?
No.
So I told her, I said, excuse me. I said, first I was a little confused. I said, what do you mean move this? She said, isn't this your cart? I said, no, it's not my cart. She said, well, you can still just move it down to the end. I said, it's not my cart. I said, you need to find who the person is who has it. That's not my cart. She said, well, you can just take the cart down the hallway. It won't hurt you to move the cart down the hallway. I said, well, why don't you move the cart down the hallway? Because it's not my. She got upset. She was like, well, do you know whose it is? Why do you think I know who it is? Right?
Because you're black.
Right. So my thing is, I walked right by. I said, ma'am, I'm going to my office. She said, you have an office here? Why do you think she said that?
Because you're black.
Right, because she must assume that if I'm a black man, I must not be a professor at UCLA. So I went to my office and I came back out and said, yeah, I teach here. You should have saw her. She turned like red. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you were a professor here. I would not have asked you to move that. But she's also been brainwashed into thinking what?
That
we are, what's that word?
Inferior.
That we're inferior, right? So that's why every single day, hear me when I say this, every single day, when you do what you do as brilliant young minds, you are helping to prove people wrong. Because there are people out there who think that you can't think, that you can't write, that you can't do math, that you don't have great ideas, that you're not great artists, that you're not good at what you do. They have all kinds of negative beliefs about you. So every day you walk around and you get your education, it proves to the world that you are brilliant beyond belief. Say it with me again. Brilliant
beyond belief.
One more time. Brilliant beyond belief. That means when folks see you, I'm not surprised by your brilliance. But when the world sees, like, wow, smart, wow, intelligent, wow, creative, wow, thoughtful, wow, passionate. It's not just one of us. This is what we all do. And we deserve to be treated as such. So when I go to my job and when I teach in my classes, I'm always trying to help folks to understand that black people are smart, we are kind, we are creative, we are problem solvers, we make a way out of no way, we are loving, we care for our families, all the things that you all know and see and do every single day. So I believe that when I'm teaching is not just learning about the subject matter I teach, which is about education, but I want folks to know, especially if they're going to go into education, if you're going to teach black children, a lot of my students go on to become teachers. If you're going to teach black children, you cannot go into this work thinking that black children are not smart, that they're not capable, and they're not creative. They need to understand that black children have culture, that we are proud of who we are, that we're respectful, but we are going to also give you the respect that you give us, or not. Brother Pratt, talk to me.
You watch Everybody Hates Chris?
Yes, I do.
On Everybody Hates Chris, what about that white teacher who treats Chris exactly what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what. Right. Yeah, you seen her before? Talk to us.
I've seen like a clip of the show, and this white lady was like, so this white kid had a sleepover at Chris's house, and she was like, he was so tired, and she's like, what's wrong? Did they have you drinking beer there? And then she said,
Did you eat a 40 for breakfast?
Yes.
And then she said, why were you up so early? I know they get up when the rooster crows.
Yeah. So this is what happens, because she thinks that we are, what's that I word again?
Inferior.
Right? So that's the thing. That teacher on Everybody Hates Chris is a perfect example. She says, Chris, you have a dad? Because she thinks that what, black kids don't have fathers? Chris, your mom has a job? Like, we don't work, right? All these stereotypes that she thinks about us that are deeply, deeply, deeply hurtful and not true. Yes?
And she also thinks Chris is not good at math.
Right. Why does she think that?
Because he's black.
That's right. And because of him being black, she must assume that we are what? Inferior. Right. Now, part of what I need y'all to understand, and what's important about education, I need you to do all that you can to get all the education you want to. Because I want to see y'all at UCLA one day. Raise your hands if you want to be at UCLA. Raise your hand. Everybody, come on, raise your hand. Raise your hand. I don't see him raise his hand. Okay.
I'm going to be at Georgia.
Look, if you're not at UCLA, where you want to go?
UCLA.
Okay. Where you want to go?
UCLA.
Okay. Where you want to go?
UCLA, Clemson, or Oregon.
Okay. You got some options. Where you want to go? Okay. I'm not mad at that. You want to go at prime time. Where you want to go?
UCLA.
Okay.
USC, Harvard, or UCLA.
Okay. But here's the bottom line. Where you want to go?
I want to go to Louisiana State, but my dad, he works at UCLA.
Okay, good, good. So here's what I need all y'all to do. Wherever you go to college, because everybody in here is going to college, right?
Yes.
Right? Wherever you go to college, here's what I need you to keep in mind though. This is important. I need you to keep being brilliant. I need you to prepare to go to college, but to not, hear me out when I say this now, but to not lose your mind in the process. I'm gonna say it again. I want somebody to tell me what I'm talking about. I want you to get your education, but to not lose your mind in the process. What do you think I'm talking about?
Like be as smart as you can be,
Mhm.
but like also don't like put people down.
Okay, perfect. I love it. What else does that mean?
Make sure you stay on track and you don't do something to mess up your life.
Yeah, this is good. Get your education, but don't lose your mind in the process. What am I getting at?
Like, it's your education and stuff, but like, just because you're adult, like, just don't go partying everywhere.
Okay, that's part of don't lose your mind. What else am I talking about? Don't lose your mind in the process.
Don't get on drugs and always remember your culture.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Here we go. Let me come here. Talk to me.
Get your education, but don't feed into everything that they tell you about Black history.
Come on now. Now we're getting somewhere. This is what I need to know, because a lot of us, a lot of folks who look like us, get their education.
Oh,
Talk to me.
and lose it?
And lose their mind. What do I mean by that? Well, what really frustrates me, let me tell you a quick story. What really makes me sad is when I'm on UCLA's campus, I don't see a lot of people who look like me. And then when I do see somebody who looks like me and I see them walking toward me, that gives me some pride because of the fact that I see somebody who looks like me. And I'm somebody who believes when you see somebody who looks like you should do what? Greet them, right? You're like, what up? What's up? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Or give you a pound, right? Or if I don't give you a pound, at the very least, I should do what?
Say hello.
Say hello. If I don't say hello, I should do what?
Dab them up.
Y'all know what the head nod is?
Yeah.
What's the head nod?
What's up?
Right? Because when you do that, right, when you do that, what is that telling you? That tells me I see you,
And you respect them.
I respect you, I value you, you're important, we look like each other, you're not alone. But when I walk on campus sometimes, here's what bothers me. I see somebody who's coming my way, looks like me, I'm excited, I'm hoping and thinking that they're excited. I'm getting ready to have a little small conversation. And what do you think happens? I'll walk, come on, what's your name up here? Andre? James, come up here, James, come on. So James, stay right there, James, stay right there, James. Okay, so let's pretend James is me, okay? And I'm one of the students or some of the people I see on UCLA's campus sometimes. So James is excited, why? Right. James get ready to have a conversation, why? He sees me, right? So now me and James are gonna play out what happens sometimes with frustrating me. So James is walking, James is Dr. Howard, and give me a name, a random name. DeMarcus. DeMarcus.
Jaquavius.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So we're walking towards each other, and this is what happens, what frustrates me sometimes. Let's go. How do you think that makes me feel?
Disrespected.
Why?
He walked past you.
You just basically ignored him.
Right. I just basically ignored him. That's why I say don't lose your mind. Get your education, but when you see somebody who looks like you can at least give them 2 seconds to at least give them a head nod, smile, say hello, give them a dab, say something to them, because don't lose your mind, meaning don't lose your sense of self. Right? Don't lose who you are. Get your education, but still be proud of your culture, be proud of your history, be proud of your race, because that's what got you where you are. You know how many people made it possible for us to be here?
Yes.
Say it again, who was it? Who made it possible for us to be here?
Marcus Garvey.
Right, yeah. Our ancestors, right? Yes.
Garvey, Martin Luther King, Rosa
Yeah, all those
Parks.
folks, our ancestors, right? And let me ask you this question. Hold on. Let me ask this question. Do you think it was easy what they had to go through?
No.
Somebody raise their hand. Somebody give me like one example of what they had to go through to make it hard. In the back. Slavery. What else? Racism. What else? Lynching. What else? Police brutality. What else? Segregation. What else?
Can I say two things?
Yes, you may.
Assassinating and getting whipped.
Yep. Assassinating and whipped. What else?
Racial harassment.
Racial harassment. What else?
Jim Crow laws.
Jim Crow laws. What else?
Discrimination.
Discrimination. What else?
Legal murder.
Legal murder. What else?
No black rights.
No black rights. What else?
Killing for fun.
Say it again.
Not getting paid.
Not getting paid. Yes. What else?
for fun.
Say it again.
They would kill black people for fun.
Yes. Killing people for black people for sport. What else? Oppression. All those things. One last one.
Unable to vote.
Yes. No voting rights. So here's what I need you to understand. Here's what I have to. You gotta really like internalize this. And I love your genius that you know all those answers. Our ancestors went through all those things: lynchings, slavery, discrimination, police brutality, racial hatred, all the things you all said. But they did that because they hoped that one day, their children's children would not have to go through that, right? And so here we are now. We stand on their shoulders, meaning that we would not be here today if it were not for them. They made tremendous sacrifices. They got whooped, they got beat, they got killed. They went through things that we can't even wrap our heads around. So when I think about the people who are the greatest of this entire world, it's our ancestors given what they went through. Because we stand on their shoulders, we can never forget. Right? You with me, right? We can never forget what they've done. So that's why we take our education seriously, because what happened 100 years ago, 200 years ago, if you try to get an education and you were black.
And you couldn't because they wouldn't let you because you're black. And
Because
they
you're
would
black.
kick you out anything.
They'll kick you out. What else would you do?
They would make you go to a black school that had no support.
Right. Or during slavery, if you were caught with a book, yeah, that could lead to you being whipped, lynched. What else?
And the only college that they'd let you go was probably like clown school or something.
Yeah, they didn't even have colleges for black folks at that time they wanted to go to. What else?
A lot of like black schools they had at like worn out library books.
Right.
They had water fountains that barely even worked.
Yeah, so we had schools that were not equipped for us to succeed. So this is what I need you to understand now. All those things that we went through as a people. But our folks fought, they sacrificed, and sadly some of them died for us to have an opportunity to get an education. So that's why we have to take this opportunity seriously. We have to do everything we can to get our education, because for years we could not get an education. If we tried, we faced some horrific things. So that's why I say get your education, but not to lose your mind in the process. I mean, remember where you come from, know your history, always talk to people who look like you, acknowledge people who look like you, because if they win, you win. What's your name? When Dylan wins, I win. What's your name?
James.
When James wins, Dylan wins. What's your name?
Quasi.
When Quasi wins, James wins. What's your name?
Braylon.
When Braylon wins, James wins. What's your name? When Mahari wins, Braylon wins.
Cade.
Cade wins, Amari wins. When one of us wins, say we all win.
We all
win.
Say it again. When one of us wins,
We all win.
So that's why I'm always, there's a saying that's called by Audre Lorde, who says we lift as we climb. We lift as we climb. Somebody tell me what that means. I lift as I climb.
That means when you're like in a good mood and you see someone like you and someone's down, you lift them up.
That's right.
Give them positive.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
When you're like climbing up, like doing better, you carry other people with you.
That's right. You bring people with you, because when I win, we all win. When you win, we all win. So as I'm lifting, I'm pulling people. What's your name?
Patrick.
I'm pulling Patrick with me. I'm pulling Cameron with me. I'm pulling a song with me, because when I win, we all win. Okay, let me stop right here. Questions? Talk to me.
In your class, is there more white people than black people?
Good question. Yes, there are more white people than black people, but the number one group, the group I see the most of in my classes, are not black.
Mexican,
Indian.
Asian,
Asian.
I got it.
See more Asian than anybody else. Asian, yep, yes.
Chinese.
Did you ever like talk to the football players there?
All the time. I try to tell them to get their education, but not lose their mind. I saw a group of them last week. I go checking them at least once a week. Yes.
About the football players, is there anybody like, do you have a favorite?
I got a couple of them who I have a favorite. I'm gonna bring them here one time. We can sort this out. I'll bring some of them here to meet you all. Can we make that happen?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Did you ever get called racial slurs when you first showed to
Bro.
Good question. I never got called racial slurs, but what I dealt with is a term I want you all to know. It's called microaggressions.
Ooh, Mike. Oh, I know what those.
What's microaggressions?
Like, I don't know how to like explain it. It's like you assume somebody like I don't.
Yep, that's right. Keep going.
It's like you assume somebody's like this, or you say something negative about them in like a I forgot how you say it, but like in a formal or like
Yeah. So
like a
I-
metaphorical way.
Yeah, metaphorical way. Like I told you, the lady told me to move the custodial cart.
Oh.
Yeah. Or like when people say, like when I show up, they think I'm not a professor. Those kind of things. They just assume that you're not what you do because you're black. Those kind of things when I experience. Question.
Has your students ever been racist to you?
Yeah, every now and then they don't like the grades I give. If they get a bad grade, they come to my office and want me to like change their grades. Like,
Racist? They've been racist?
yeah, they say some things that are not okay. I had a young
You
lady.
think
come
that's
in.
okay?
Oh, no, it's not okay.
Did she
but
say the N-word?
she didn't say the N-word, but she was upset about her grade because she got a D in my class. Right? And look, and if I'm being honest, she should have got
Yeah.
an F. So I was being generous by giving her a D. And she came to my office and she got quite upset and called herself wanting to like use some choice words. What's choice words mean?
Big, wide vocabulary.
Like basically cuss words, right? She wanted to tell me, like, you know what, you can kick rocks, young girl. It's not what time it is. Yes, go ahead.
Two things. My cousin went to UCLA
Uh-huh.
and he took me on a tour a couple of times.
Okay.
And also this I don't really know how like it works, but like with the football thing, like I know you have to get like certain grades or something to be able to play.
Yes.
Like what is the situation?
Yes, you have to have at least like a B plus average.
Oh, okay.
If you have less than a B, you can't play because you have to have good grades to be able to play. Yes. All right. That's not a you have like an A average. Yes. Question.
Is your class there a tennis court?
No, it's really far from the tennis court. Tennis court is on one part of the campus. My office, my class is all on the other side.
And
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you see people having a protest there?
Yeah, I saw some today having protests. Yep. Question.
Sometimes do you work with the event managers?
Sometimes I do. When we put an event. You know somebody?
My dad,
Your dad? What's his name?
Terry.
Terry? What's his name? We'll look for him.
Alright.
Next time I'm there, I say, who putting on the event? Your name Terrence? Your name Terrence? Right, I say all the dudes up there.
He's black.
He's black, okay. Sit down, get your
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Question.
Are you vegan?
Am I vegan? I am. I've been vegan for almost like 32 years now. You know who I learned that from?
32 years.
That man right there. Yep. Raise your hand in here if you're vegan. I'm curious. Okay. Ish. Okay. Ish. Question.
So like, do you guys like have movie nights and stuff?
I don't have movie nights in my class, but if you come, when you go to college, you live in what's called the dorms.
Yeah.
You heard of dorms? That's where the students live. A lot of students live. And up in the dorms, sometimes they have movie nights over there for folks who live on campus. So. Yeah. Question. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I have. You actually tapped on a little bit. I know you, not only being a professor at UCLA, but also you also were an athlete, or you probably are still an athlete. Don't say that, right? And there are students in this classroom that are very good at sports, but I want you, could you actually tell them what did you do to navigate so that you would still be able to do good in sports, but at the same time, you were still able to get your grades and those type of things?
Yeah, so good question. How many folks here love or enjoy sports? Okay. How many folks want to play sports when they get to high school? Okay, let's have a conversation. So I did sports in high school, I did sports in college, and let me tell you, it's hard to do both. Let me tell you why it's hard to do both. Because if you're going to be a scholar, especially a good scholar or a good student, you got to spend a lot of hours doing what? Studying. Like not just an hour a night, sometimes like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a night, right? Which is a lot. Now, if you want to be good at sports, guess what you have to do also? Practice. You got to practice. And sometimes you got to practice 2, 3, 4 hours a day. So you got to put your time into your schoolwork first and your athletics second. And it takes a lot because when you're studying, it takes a lot of what? Brain power. But when you're doing athletics, it takes brain power and what? And your physical. So sometimes I would be so tired after I came home from practice. It'd be like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and all I want to do is eat and go to sleep. But I can't go to sleep if I got homework to do. Can't go to sleep if I got study to do. I can't go to sleep if I got a test in the morning. So you have to be what's called disciplined. Discipline, meaning that, you know what, despite the fact that I'm tired, I still got to find my time to study. I got to put just as much time in my books as I do in my athletics. Because if you don't, you end up being somebody who's only looked at as what they call a dumb jock. What do you think that means?
Stupid.
Yep, somebody, all they know is sports, but can't think. So you got to be able to be disciplined to say, my education comes first, and my athletics comes second. Why do I say my education comes first?
Because you need to go.
Because studying takes 6 hours.
Yeah, and what happens if I just like destroy my knee?
You got nothing.
Then I need to
Can't go
start
to your ACL.
Yeah, I'm done.
And also, they allow only if you have like B plus or something.
Yep.
They won't allow you to play.
That's right. If you don't have at least a 3.0 grade point average, a lot of schools won't let you play.
Oh, and also like for example, like if you like study a lot and you get good grades and you're a really good student, if you like I miss like a couple of practices and then kick you off the team,
Yep.
or like you like get injured or something, you still might be okay because since you are a really good student, other jobs might hire you.
That's right. That's right. And let me tell you what happened. I was at UCLA football practice about 2 weeks ago. And so one of the things the coaches do, if you don't like take care of your grades, sometimes you have to do extra things at practice. So like at the end of practice, they do what are called wind sprints. They have to run like 100 yards up, 100 yards back, and 100 yards up, 100 yards back. So they do like about 5 or 6 of them. But if you are in trouble with your academics, after everybody does the 5 or 6, guess what? You got to do an extra 5 or 6. And I've seen some of these guys out there who are just like throwing up and they're tired because coaches say, listen, you're not going to be out here playing football if you don't take care of your academics first. So that's the way it should be. Football is a privilege. It's not something that you're given a right to do, or any sport, basketball, track and field, whatever it is, baseball, but your number one priority, your number one concern should always be your academics, because once you get that, it cannot be taken away from you. Got that?
Yes.
1, then 2, yes.
Has anyone got a 4.0 in your class?
Yeah, I get some students who, they get 4.0s. I had a young lady just this last semester, she got A's, she graduated this year. She's got an A in every class she took in college.
Oh.
She never got a B. A, yep, that's what she is. She's the developer. She got an A in everything. She came to class early. She sat in front of the class. She asked questions during the class. She would stay after the class and ask me questions. She would come to my office hours. She would take all these detailed notes. She took her education seriously because she said she did not want to lose the opportunity to be the best she could be. So it's great that you are in physical conditioning, right, to get your body right. But also, don't put more time and effort into your body that you're not putting into your mind. So that's why reading and studying and learning is, to me, just as important, if not more important, than how you are taking care of your body with regard to physical activity. Your mind and your body have to be your priority, okay? Yes. So let me ask you this question. Why do you think your coaches have you do so much running?
Make us the best.
Make you the best. So say it again. Because what happens if you're not in shape?
You get tired easily.
Yeah, so you have the game, and you have another team that's in better shape than you are. Guess who's probably going to win the game?
The bad
Right. So what you put into your conditioning is what's going to pay off for you when the game time comes, right?
Yes.
So here's what you got to think about in life. What you put into your mind to be the best thinker, the best doer, is what's going to pay off when you go into the game of life. Some people want to go into the game of life, but they haven't done the practice. They haven't done the preparation. It was like you going to a football game. What if you all had a game and you didn't practice?
They wouldn't be able to.
We would suck.
You would suck. Why would you suck?
Because you haven't been practicing.
Because you haven't been practicing and you're not prepared. So why would you go into life without having your education?
Cause if you go into life without having your education, you wouldn't know the stuff needed and the necessities needed to do jobs.
Yep,
And
yep.
like take care of a family.
That's
and
right.
stuff.
In so many ways, this is why, one of the reasons why I love sports, because in a lot of ways, sports is just like life. You see, like, give me somebody, who's your favorite basketball player? Give me somebody again.
LeBron James.
Okay, LeBron James.
Kobe.
Kobe. How many hours do you think they put into being good basketball players? A lot of hours, right? Could they be that good if they didn't practice?
No.
No. But they put the time in. So now, same thing in life. Show me somebody like your parents or your grandparents who's done well in life. Your mom. Guess how many hours she put into being successful in life? So same thing. What you put in is what you get out. Okay? What you put in is what you get out. Let me question right here. Yes.
So our football field is it's around the track. So whenever someone get bad grades, we have to tell the coaches what grades we get on the test. Whenever someone gets bad grades, we have to go on the track and do 5 laps.
Everybody. Right. Yep. You like that rule?
I mean, it makes it stronger.
Yes.
And I'm used to running.
Let me tell you why I like that rule, because it's something called group accountability. That sound familiar?
Yes.
What does group accountability mean? What does it mean?
It's to take responsibility for one of your actions and the whole team has to.
Somebody must be teaching y'all that, huh? Talk about it.
Yeah, all the time. It's really big, and I've been telling them about that. That's one of the main principles of life, especially for us as you guys young men and for men. The accountability is major because, like I've been telling them, we're all accountable to someone, even us as adults.
That's right. That's right.
So,
And I like that rule because it's about group accountability. So if one person gets bad grades, then we all gonna have to pay the price to do what we can to help that one person get his grades up. As opposed to saying, well, you got bad grades, you gotta run, and the rest of us gonna just watch. No, we all gotta win. We all gotta be, so we lift as we climb. Wow. Okay, so here we go. About to close up. I need to go to each one of you real quick. Tell me one thing you took away from our brief time together. Something that we discussed in this last hour that stayed with you. Start here. One thing.
Wait, can you say it again?
One thing that you took away. One thing you learned from what we just talked about for the last 45 minutes. One thing. Everybody start thinking. I'm coming to you next. One thing.
So always keep up your grades and remember your culture.
Okay, keep your grades with your culture. Good job. One thing.
Never put yourself lower than another person.
That's right. One thing.
Can't come back.
I come back. One thing. Say it again. Group accountability matters. One thing. Think about it. One thing.
Keep your history and don't forget.
Keep your history. Don't forget it. One thing.
Helping others when they need help.
Help others when they need help. One thing.
Have self-discipline when doing something.
Self-discipline. I love it. One thing.
When one person wins, we all win.
When one person wins, we all win. One thing.
Come back to your pick.
Okay. Talk to us. Yes.
You lift as we climb.
We lift as we climb. I love it. Talk to us, Brother Pratt.
Make sure you teach different cultures in different ways and not everybody the same.
That's right. I love that. I love it. Okay, you got what you got for me now?
Help people when they need actual help.
Help people when they need help. What you got for me?
Get educated, but don't lose your mind.
Get educated, but don't lose your mind. You got something now for me, Jane?
Don't let anyone pull you down.
Don't let anyone pull you down. What you got for one thing?
Education always comes first.
Your education always comes first. You got something for me?
Come back to me.
Come back to you. Okay. What you got?
To always learn your history.
Always learn your history.
Lifting others up with you.
Lifting others up with you.
Always be accountable.
Always be accountable. Last but not least.
If you go into the world without your history, you won't know who you are.
If you go into your world without your history, you don't know who you are.
Right. And I just want to say one thing before we close out, brother. I want to thank you for inviting us to UCLA. I know this group right here didn't go, but we did go some years, a few years back. And you had another conference, something to do, but you set it up. And the BSU actually for it, and it ran like clockwork. I mean, it was so professional.
I gotta come back.
And so I really appreciate that. So, brothers of Garvey, let's give Dr. Howard a warm black hand. Yes, yes.